to some more Spooky Scary Sundays, except I skipped Sunday. But I'm here to do it nonetheless. As you all may know, CoryxKenshin hasn't been uploading, and I, his son, CoryxKenshin Jr., will fulfill my dad's purpose in the YouTube realm. So today, we obviously will be reacting to spooky, scary stories, just like old times. I know you guys really do miss my father, and I'm gonna keep this going as long as I possibly can until he makes his return. Now, for the information I have to give to you all is very slim. He didn't tell me much about his situation, so I can't really tell you what's going on with CoryxKenshin other than he's safe, he's fine, and don't worry about him too much.
No, he doesn't have the coronavirus.
I know I'm not going to be able to replace CoryxKenshin, but I would try my best to fulfill his duties. And there's a few things I need to say. No, I'm not actually CoryxKenshin's son. I know a lot of people thought that for some reason in the last Spooky Scary Sundays video. Even though we do have the same editing style, I act similar to him. We live in the same state. I live very, very close to where he grew up. You see the resemblance? Now I see why people got mixed up. Huh. But in the future, we're going to do a live stream. Going to be pre-scheduled so you guys can set a reminder for that 2 weeks ahead of time from this date. So I hope to see you all there. So, enough talking. Let's go and react to some spooky, scary stories.
If you don't know what Spooky Scary Sunday is, aka Monday, because it's not Sunday, I pray for your life. Like, seriously, how do you not know this series? This is one of the most famous series on this site. You gotta know what it is. If you are new to my channel and want more content like this, hit the subscribe button. And if you like my content, you know, the post notifications is always there. I'm not forcing you, I'm telling you. And don't forget to slice that like button while you're at it. You know, give the video a nice little, good like to dislike ratio. Now, if you don't mind, we can get started with Spooky Scary Sundays, aka Monday. What are you waiting on? The video has started. Okay, before you even ask, I got my snacks. Yeah, you ain't never catching me lacking or slacking. Now, this first animation is by the wonderful Llama Arts, and the animation is called The Bridge. Now look at Llama Arts advertising. Now, I might have to pick up that plushie.
So this story takes place when I was about 16 years old. At my school, I played for the volleyball team, and every year we would go to a camp and do volunteer work for this guy.
This guy?
The camp was in the middle of nowhere.
That's not reassuring enough.
When we got to the camp, we immediately started to work until 8 p.m. This was around October, so it was already dark at 8.
Okay.
My two friends and I were sitting around the fire, trying to figure out something we could do so we weren't so bored. We heard that there was a small river down the hill from the camp, and we thought we could check it out. The problem was that it was some guy's property, and the owner of the camp told us to not disturb him since the guy was a little strange.
Then
we weren't really supposed to leave the camp, but being 16 years old, we loved breaking the rules.
No, that's not how that works.
We walked about 10 minutes in the camp and finally reached the river.
Oh my goodness.
It was bigger than we expected, and there was a large wooden bridge that crossed it. The bridge was about 20 feet long and was big enough to let a truck go over it.
Disgusting.
My two friends and I decided to go under the bridge and check it out. As we were walking by the shoreline, we saw two headlights off in the distance moving towards the bridge, so we bolted underneath it and hid. We then heard the truck roll over our heads and to the other side.
Wait, bro.
My friends and I chilled there for a while.
I thought he meant like actually roll over their heads.
It was about
like
8:30
what?
at this time, and now it was pretty much pitch black. That's when we started to hear a slow rumble in the distance. The same truck had come back, and this time it was moving much slower. We stayed put under the bridge, stifling our
Good
laughter.
call.
Eventually, the truck moved over the bridge, but rather than going over to the other side, the truck stopped right on top of us. The only thing you
Well,
could hear
he's
was the
gotta
rushing
know y'all
water and
there.
the hum of the engine.
He wouldn't
Then,
stop
the door of
dead
the
in
truck
his
swung
tracks
open,
if he didn't
and
know
out
y'all
came a loud
there.
thump on top of the bridge. Then we heard a loud scream saying, "I know you're out there! I'm gonna find you!" I looked at my friends and they were both shaking in fear. This must have been the crazy property owner, and he seemed pissed that we were on his land.
Oh gosh.
He started screaming
I
and
mean,
saying he was
you
gonna
shouldn't
hurt
have
us
done
if he
it.
finds us. We could see
This is
that
how
he had a
people dig their
flashlight
own
and was
graves.
swinging it around looking for us. We
Prematurely.
heard loud thumps as he walked around a little bit, calling out for us, and thank God he never went under the bridge.
Yet.
Eventually, it went silent, and it sounded as if he went back into his truck. I was too terrified to move.
Good.
We
Then
sat there for
don't
about
move.
10 minutes, and then my one friend, who we'll call Trevor, whispered in my ear, saying that we have to go. I gave him a quick
the
nod,
coast clear?
and in slow motion, we moved out from under the bridge. We started to army crawl on the shoreline of the river, and I remember looking behind me to see the top of the bridge. I saw a white Ford F-150. In the driver's seat was the man,
The coast wasn't
staring
clear.
right at me
Oh
with a
my
sinister
goodness.
smile, and he even gave me a little wave. At that moment, I screamed and ran. My friends saw me run and took off after me. I could hear screaming from behind us. I took a quick glance behind me and saw that he was chasing after us, and I couldn't quite make out the object in his hand.
Oh my
It
god.
seemed to be a weapon of some sort.
Full sprint.
We ran into the forest and ducked behind a bush. It was pitch black in the forest, and we couldn't hear a thing. We sat there for a while, just shaking. The man never walked by us, and we never heard him. After we gathered our courage,
You
we
dug
got
your,
up and walked
you
back
dug
to
your
camp,
own grave.
got into our tents,
Well, almost
and tried to fall
anyway.
asleep. The next morning, we talked to the camp owner about the man that owned the property.
L's. L's in the chat. L's in the chat. This is why. Oh, let's go play with some old dude that has issues. Let's go play on his property. What do you expect is gonna happen?
Of the river.
You know better.
The camp owner said that he didn't know much about the man, but he knows that he has some mental problems and he'd been accused of assault. I am so happy that we were able to escape
Hopefully
from underneath
those-
the bridge. I can't
Well, he has
imagine
mental
what would have
problems.
happened if he caught us.
Hopefully those mental problems isn't like a, like a false thing. Like some people, they'll use like a mental problem that they don't even have to like get away with things, and man could have been doing that, but who knows? I guess we'll never know, besides the person who actually told this story. All right. Second animation. Second story by the beautiful, fantastic, nice content providing Llama Arts. And this is the creepy neighbor horror story. All right, let's see what we got here.
This happened in 2009. We would fly from our home state in California to Minnesota to visit my father's family for the summer. I've always enjoyed it there because of the nature and
Playing a
peaceful
DSi.
atmosphere. My father's family lived far from the nearest town, and he only had 2 neighbors. My only friend there was a girl who lived next
2
door.
neighbors.
Let's
I don't like
call her
that.
Morgan. She's around my age, and me, my sister,
I
and
like
her would always
populated
play from
areas.
sunrise to sunset. One day at around 4 p.m., we were outside.
I like
playing
urban
badminton.
areas, not
My
rural
sister hit the
areas.
birdie too
Thank you
hard
very much. I
and
like
landed
people.
in the next door neighbor's yard. Morgan said she had more inside her house and went to get them.
Okay.
I felt uncomfortable leaving it there, so I told my sister I'll go get it
Do
myself.
not get the
She told me
birdie.
not to do it and just wait for Morgan. While my sister was fixing the net,
If she's
I
going
decided
to go
run
get
and
another
it real
one,
quick.
leave
As I
it
was about
there.
to enter the gate, my sister grabbed me from behind and began telling me how much of a bad idea it was.
Else.
That's when an old man came out from behind the house.
Else.
He picked up the birdie and said, "Is this yours?" I said yes and asked if I could have it back.
Oh
He
man,
said
Frankenstein, is
he
that
had
you?
old toys upstairs and asked if we wanted to have them. Me and my sister were very young at the time, and we thought as he lived so close and he looked like a typical sweet grandfather.
No, he does not look like a typical sweet grandfather. This is Frankenstein reincarnated. Just more bald.
What's the worst that could happen? So we agreed and entered through the back door. The first thing I noticed was the stench. It smelled of damp and rotting food. I shrugged it off at the time since he was old. Maybe he lived alone. We heard Morgan calling our names, and we politely told the old man that we had to go, and maybe we'd return tomorrow. Morgan saw us through the window and immediately asked what we were doing there.
Hop out the window.
I answered, "The sweet old man." And she cut me off and said that the house was abandoned since she moved there. I thought she was just playing around with me and told me to cut it out. She had a blank expression, and that's when I knew that she was serious. We never
Does
told
common
anyone
sense
because we
not
didn't want to
exist
cause any
in some
trouble.
people's like
And now that I'm older, I
mindset?
wonder if it was some ghost or creepy old man luring kids into that house. The house got demolished recently, which is why I wanted to share this story.
So nothing bad really happened, but it sure as heck could have happened. What? Why? Why do you never listen to obvious advice that you know will be true? This is why I say L's in the chat. Okay. Next animation. This third animation, I do not even need to say the name. You know who it is by. A college horror story.
It was an early
I have
morning.
yet to
My
experience.
campus didn't offer housing, and I lived
anything
about a half a mile
horrifying
from
at
school,
college.
so I started my journey as usual while playing on my phone. I glanced up to see an old man heading towards me on a bicycle.
Is that the same
Normally,
man?
I'd step aside to
No!
let biker-
No! 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 No. Either they just kept the same design. I'm sure they did, but if homie has been in 2 stories, same designs, this man been out here
Some
traveling.
skaters passed, but he braked instead. I stopped too.
And an
wondering-
old man riding a bike. I mean, I can appreciate that he getting his exercise in, making sure, you know, that he's nice and fit. Nice old fit young fit fellow, you know.
if there was something wrong. He walked up to me and said,
Okay, but before we say anything, look at my man's fit. My man's got the cargo 13s on. He's got the cardboard khakis. We're not even gonna talk about this. Musty bow tie. All that's missing is the little monocle. You know, the little one glass that old people used to use back in the day. That is the only thing that is missing on my man's fit. Bro. I'm reading too much into it. Cargo 13s.
"Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you."
Is that so?
I felt chills instantly. I didn't know what to think. I just looked up at him with a fearful and confused expression. I was gathering up the courage to tell him that I was late for class and I should go, but before I could say anything, he said, "Get off the grass!" Looking down, I noticed I'd stepped over towards the road and onto the grass. I stepped off slowly and he said, "You wouldn't want to step on any bugs or get your shoes dirty now, would you?" He raised his finger and asked me what my
No.
name was. I told him, and he replied, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you."
Why'd you
The
say it a
same
second
chills ran through my
time?
body again, but before I could say anything, the man said, "Get off the grass! You wouldn't want to step on any bugs or get your shoes dirty now, would you?"
Does he have
I looked
Alzheimer's?
down to see that I was back on the edge of the sidewalk again.
Oh,
This had to be deja vu. He asked for my name once more. I said
Why
my name
tell him?
again,
I
but
would've
he
lied.
interrupted me before I could finish.
My
He
name
told me
Jamal.
his grandchildren are down the road and needed gas money. I told him I didn't have any spare change, or any change at all for that matter. He continued to ask me again, and I gave him the same answer. Eventually, I headed towards my school. I turned to see if he was
Still on the
there,
grass.
but he was gone. As I
He
was
vanished.
walking, I approached the
It's
intersection.
time to run.
There was a truck on its side. It must have tipped over while turning the corner.
He has clairvoyance. This man stopped him from getting massacred by a big semi truck. Now, and then he vanishes again. What?
If you want to help support the channel, head on over to the brand new Llama
Oh, Llama. Oh. I thought that was like part of the story. Llama Arts, y'all. YouTubers get so creative with advertisements these days. It's insane. It's insane. You make me want to buy the plushie. Let's be honest. But alas, we have concluded today's video. Spooky Scary Sundays, aka Monday. Thank you all so much for watching this video, man. If you all enjoyed the video, don't forget to samurai slice that like button. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. It is on the screen right now. So please, family, go follow me and check out my Discord server and DM me whatever the heck you want. I will see all y'all beautiful faces in the next video. Peace out, everybody. Remember, the subscribe button is your friend. Post notifications is your friend. And the like button should have been sliced, or I'm coming for your neck bone. It's gonna be mine. Yeah. I got you quaking. Yeah. Time for me to head out.
Cause my name is CoryxKenshin. You